Hello, everybody. This episode of the Lewis Sabin video podcast is brought to you by JRE and Joe Rogan, the Joe Rogan Experience podcast, available on iTunes and YouTube. As always, if I had not listened to Joe's podcast, I wouldn't have thought about this. That loud clanging noise is my dog. I'll explain that in a second. Without Joe, I never thought about doing this, so huge thanks out to him. Also, huge thanks out to, I can get the logo aimed at you, Zions, the only energy drink I drink, 0 calories, 0 sugar, no crash, no jitters. I found a little slogan deal, there it is. The original great tasting 0 calorie energy drink, real energy for real people, the unique formula that gives you the hashtag Power2, in this case, it'd be the hashtag Power2 podcast. It's the only energy drink I drink. It does not have that disgusting aftertaste. It's delicious. It's fruity. It's good. Today I'm drinking Frostberry Blast. Yeah, it's absolutely delicious. Totally tell you guys you need to drink it. Do it. I'm kidding. You can do whatever you want. I don't really care. I care if you drink it, but other than that, I really don't care what you do. Also brought to you by my only real sponsor, Fucks. Not given here, not given there, not given anywhere. I am not sponsored by any of these companies. However, I am a huge fan. If they wish to sponsor me, that would be freaking fantastic. I actually did reach out to Zions and was like, I just want the naming rights. Well, not the naming rights, the right to use your name and to mention your product. I was like, you don't have to pay me, you don't have to send me anything. I'm like, I just want the ability to say it without going, I feel like I'm going to get sued. They didn't respond. Probably because they thought I was an idiot. Because I'm like, I don't have any followers on fucking YouTube, but whatever. You know. So yeah, that's my puppy. He's throwing around a bone. That's what that loud banging sound is. So to kick this off, before we go ahead and crack this open, I thought about something that I want to throw past you guys. I thought about trying to figure out how to get the little right thingamabob for an opening song and playing what was I going to play? Being the Benefits of Mr. Kite. Yeah, because it's weird and so on. That would work. Either that or People Are Strange. Alright, let's crack this baby open. People Are Strange, of course, is by The Doors. Yeah, okay. So, drum roll. That's my attempt at that. I said that there were going to be some changes being made, some secret changes kind of thing, on the Facebook page. I announced it on YouTube because I didn't feel like it. It won't let me update my banner to, like, the stuff I make. It doesn't have enough megapixels or something weird. I don't know. Anyway. Big change coming. It was supposed to be a big surprise because it was going to be this weekend. However, I have been pushed back, so it's not going to be this weekend. It's going to be next month. I am no longer going to be shooting. I'll probably do. I think it's going to be a big lull in sports coming up here, so I probably won't do a lot of these. But I was going to be doing these from my new apartment, which is what I was supposed to be doing this weekend, moving in. However, I've been pushed back to March, so I gotta wait a month. Fine. I'll be doing that then. I didn't want to leave it up there and be like, I don't know when the changes are coming. I think I just tell you, fuck it. The move should be happening. I'm still in the middle of packing up a bunch of boxes and shit, so it's actually good that it got pushed back because half of the shit that I need to pack isn't in boxes, which sucks. But yeah, other than that, that's pretty much it that's going on with me. I'm recovering from a cold right now. That's why I sound even more nasally than I usually do. That's also why I didn't put one of these out last week, week and a half ago, something like that. I was going to do one, and I came down with this really bad cold. My throat was all sore. I was coughing up crap. I'm still coughing up crap, but that's because it's the remaining crap that's in my chest. My head was all banging. My sinuses were all built up. I looked like shit. Not that I look good anyway. I know I'm hideous. But, you know, things like that. That's what was going on. That's why I hadn't done one of these in a while. And now, here we are. So, in the news, NFL says that, because we shook the magic 8 ball and it went, sure. The Cleveland Browns are going to release, supposedly, in either March or May, Johnny Manziel. They're going to release him from the roster, which is, I think, a good decision. Basically because I tried to like him. I did. And I did there for a minute. I thought him not playing was a bit of a snub, but he can't stay out of the news. He can't not be drunk, evidently. He's always at parties. He's now beat up some girl or something twice, 2 or 3 times. The cops have been called on him. And it's kind of starting to get ridiculous. So, you know what? Maybe he does deserve to get cut. And I've heard Dallas wants him. Of course, Dallas wants him because evidently we're going to try and recreate the prison gang from the comebacks in Dallas. We're going to get a bunch of fuck-ups in Dallas. Maybe Greg and him will be great friends. Who knows? I was kind of hopeful that Sarkisian was going to get hired in Cleveland. That way, you know, Johnny Manziel would have a drinking buddy. But, you know, it didn't happen. Whatever. Fuck him. It's one of those where you go, if you really can't control the things that you're doing, in this case with, you know, Johnny, maybe you shouldn't be a professional athlete. If all you want to do is drink and party, perhaps you shouldn't be doing what you're doing. But whatever. I'm sick of him. We're all pretty much done with him. It's pretty much the consensus of the world in, you know, football. We're all done with him. In other news, last night, I believe it was last night, I didn't watch it. All the idiots convened in Iowa, which I still don't get why the fuck it's in Iowa. To debate about nonsense and not answer real questions. And for some reason, the second biggest moron in the world won. And the biggest moron, and possibly the second coming of Hitler, came in second. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, Ted Cruz ended up winning the debate, or whatever the fuck. The Iowa caucus thing. And Trump came in second. If you didn't know I was talking about Trump with the second part, I don't know. When I said the second coming of Hitler, that should have been your cue to know that's who I was talking about. Yeah, Ted Cruz is a fucking idiot. He just shouldn't run. In fact, I don't think he should be involved in anything, especially because he's so happy that the government got shut down last year. Which is really funny, because the government got shut down, and you notice how nothing changed. So maybe we don't need it. For the most part, I mean, let's be honest here. Most of the decisions that went on, I think we actually got more shit done without the government than we do with them. But whatever. Anyway, he's a fucking moron. I don't want to talk politics too much on here because I piss a lot of people off. Hitler came in second, claimed that he was didn't have a chance, which is bullshit. Sarah Palin's endorsing him now, which is funny because she's a fucking idiot too. So I don't like Cruz. I don't like it. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and say this. 90% of the Republicans I don't like. There's a minute few that I don't mind. And they're the ones that are, the people I don't mind are the ones that actually do this crazy thing. It's called make decisions. and understand that the government there has to be a give and take. So, like John McCain. I got no problem with John McCain. I like him. Trying to think. That's pretty much it right now. I mean, of course, there's more, but I'm just saying off the top of my head, John McCain's one of them. He understands there's a give and take. We have to try and agree on things. And I don't mind him. I didn't mind him when he ran. To be perfectly honest with you, I thought about it. And I was like, if he wins, cool. I don't care. That year we had some pretty good candidates. I mean, we had Hillary, who was before she went nuts. We had Barack, who obviously won. And then we had McCain. And to be honest with you, I had no problem with McCain. My only problem I had with McCain was that he picked a complete and utter retard. I apologize for that statement, but to be honest with you, that's the only way you can describe Sarah Palin. She is possibly brain dead. I heard her little thing about how she's endorsing Trump in her speech, and I just wanted to punch her in the face. She's just an idiot. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking about politics. It upsets people. I go to the other side with the Democrats. And, I guess Bernie and Hillary tied. There's no way that was too close to call. Which is both a good thing and a bad thing. Good thing because that means that Hillary hasn't taken over people and that Bernie still has a chance. Problem. Hillary is still in that conversation. Hillary's nuts. I like Bernie Sanders. I'm voting for Bernie at the moment. Hillary, I liked her the first time around. She had some good ideas. I didn't think she had the power to be president, but I was like, Barack wins, the nomination. Okay, that's your vice president. Pick Hillary. Because I was like, that you got it. Locked down. Yeah, he went with Joe, which I'm happy about. I like Joe Biden. I really wished he'd have run because I'd have voted for Joe. I like Joe Biden. But, that's not how that worked. His son died. He's going through a lot of shit right now. So, much respect to Joe. And hopefully everything, that he is doing with the whole cancer research and everything goes through. But Hillary is now tumbled downhill to the very, very, very far end of the spectrum. And she's a wee bit nutty. In fact, so nutty that I contemplate sometimes what comes out of her mouth. You hear her press conference, and there's certain things she says that you go, absolutely, that needs to happen. Then she says some other shit, and you go, ooh. Not like George W. Bush, ooh. More of a, I don't know if I should have. No, Bush said shit that you just laughed about. Because I'm the decider. You fool me once. Shame on you. Fool me twice. You can't fool me twice. Shit like that. That was entertaining. The only reason I would vote for Hillary is because of her husband. Which is why I'm not voting for her, because she's not Bill. However, let's say Bill had only won one election and he was rerunning, I would totally vote for Bill. Because I like Bill. Bill's a great guy. I think Bill's fucking hilarious. I love him. He's very well liked. It's one of those things that's great to look at. You look at the presidential, last, we'll say 25 years. Bill Clinton stands out. Because his approval rating was still really high. People really liked him. I like Bill. I don't know very many people who didn't like Bill. I know Republicans that like Bill. But, that's how that goes. He can't be reelected, which kind of sucks. But if you look at our candidates overall, they pretty much just suck. It's like you get a great pick in Bernie Sanders or Hillary. And on the Republican side, you get a complete and utter fascist who might be the second coming of Hitler. Cruz, who's a moron. That black guy who's actually turns out a fucking idiot. I thought that was great. And I heard about him. I don't remember his name. I thought he was a great choice. Awesome. Somebody who's not a politician. Not a career politician, He's supposed to be a neuroscientist or something like that. And or brain surgeon or something like that. I forget. Hang on. Hank, I don't remember giving that to you. I don't remember giving that to you. No. Yeah, I don't remember giving that to you. He got a box. But, you know, he seemed like a good choice at the time. Turns out, fucking idiot. How do you plan on working on the economy and, you know, things that you're not used to talking about? His response. Well, I'm going to try to get somebody maybe who knows something about. I don't have a clue. I don't know. Notice how I keep falling asleep. That's what he looks like when he's talking. He looks like he's about to pass out. If you can't stay awake when you're talking, how do you expect us to stay awake? Fuck you. You got that one woman. I don't know who the fuck she is. She's nuts. It's not Bachman. Otherwise, I would be having a heyday talking about Bachman because she's off her fucking rocker. The two people I wish Trump would pick as vice president, Palin or Bachman. Why? He will no longer be relevant. No one will vote for him. Because they're both nuts. One of them's nuts, the other one is nuts and stupid. I'll just comment on that in a second. Trying to think. There's somebody else before Bush. Somebody else is running. I don't remember who the fuck it is. And Bush. And Jeb Bush is really irrelevant right about now. Nobody. I know people who forgot he was running. I got the puppy wants out. Take that outside. There. Go outside. You scratch. Go outside. Go outside. Take it with you. Take it with you. There you go. Staring at his bone and then looking outside like, but the bone's inside. But take it with you. Anyway, I know people who forgot Jeb Bush was running. Pretty funny. I was like, Jeb Bush is still technically in the conversation. He's running? Still? On what money? Who knows? But that's it. Terrible choices. I want to clarify on something real quick before I move on to my next topic that I know plenty about and can talk about in great detail. When I say that Sarah Palin is stupid and nuts and Bachman is nuts, I'm trying to make a point here. They both are crazy. Listen to what they have to say. They're off their fucking rockers. I am not saying that Sarah Palin in particular is stupid because she's a woman. I know there are people who are going to argue that. You're saying she's stupid because she's a woman. No. Because I think certain things that Hillary says are dumb. And I respect Hillary Clinton. May not like her a lot right now, but respect you. Unlike Trump. I have no respect for him anymore. I did at one point because he was, this multi-millionaire. Now I realize you're just a fucking jackass. Certain things, Trump, you shouldn't say. Pretty much anything about Hispanics, Muslims, any other race but your own, for the most part. Any of the ideas that have come out of your mouth so far, things like that. But that's a tangent. Sorry, the things I want to say, about. I'm not saying anything about women in particular when I'm mentioning the politicians who are currently the top 3 names that are mentioned, which would be Bachman, Palin, and Clinton. And whatever that other woman is that's running. Or she may have dropped out. There was a woman Republican that was running, and I don't remember her name. At least I'm pretty sure. She was pretty stupid, too. A lot of her responses were dumb. And I'm not saying that because she's a Republican, and I'm not saying that because she's a woman. I'm saying this because some of her responses were fucking dumb. You heard her response and you went, what's that got to do with the question? Of course, then again, all politicians do that. I'm glad you asked that question. I think my policy states, I didn't ask you about your policy. I asked you what you're going to fucking do. It had nothing to do with the question. Like, I answered that pretty well, I thought. You didn't answer anything. Let me dodge around your question a little bit and sort of answer your question. No, actually. I was looking for a straightforward yes and no. But whatever. Done with politics. Let's move on down the line. Scroll down a second. There we go. Oh, crap. I'm a little too far. Okay. So far in the 2016 NFL season, it's about to be over. We're going to have the Super Bowl this Sunday, and it's the Broncos and the Panthers. And it should be a very good game. I got the Panthers by 17. I believe that's who's going to win. But then I was asked by somebody just recently, what will if the Broncos win? I said, well, if the Broncos win, it's going to be by 3. And they kind of looked at me and they're like, what do you mean? And I said, the Broncos win, it'll be by 3. It'll be a field goal. They'll get a field goal because they'll get field position and go, crap, can't score. Let's kick the field goal, get the easy points. What the Patriots should have done. And they'll win. It's just how sometimes, their defense is very good, but I have question marks about their offense as opposed to Cam and that offense of the Panthers. I know they're going to be playing a really good defense, but he's just that good. But, of course, after this, we're going to have, in April, the draft, which I'm a huge fan of. I love the draft. I'm one of the few people that, really seriously appreciates the pro days and the training camps and the combine, and I'll watch the draft. I like to hear about these prospects. I'd like to see where they go because I get really interested in, the story behind the player, where they came from. This is actually how I started. I started this last year because I used to talk about draft prospects with my friends. And like, you should talk about this. And I was like, all right, fine. So I did this. Originally posted it to Facebook. And it was just me talking about, in the draft, we're going to have this guy, this guy, this guy, and they're going to go here, and they're from here, and this is where I think they'll end up. And now we have this. Now we have my podcast. That's how it started in its infancy. And, this is now getting to 1 year, coming up on a year of me doing this. And this is when I get really excited. I love the draft. I love watching, players and seeing where they came from. I'm really excited just sitting in this kitchen. But there's always underclassmen that go. There's always at least one underclassman. Usually more than that, but you get my point. There's always at least one. And this year, the underclassmen, there's actually some really good players who are underclassmen that are going to the draft this year. And thanks to CBS Sports, which I have pulled up. Oh, the Johnny Manziel story. I'm going to say this. I got that from ESPN. And also this thing called A Hunch. But this is coming from CBS Sports. If you ever want to look at who's going from your college, I got friends who are Michigan State fans. I got friends who are Michigan fans too. And they go, who do we have from our school going to the draft? Go to CBS Sports, go to the NFL tab, it's a drop tab, scroll down to the draft, and there's a little, it's in the side, it's a box. And it says year, position, it's year, position, and then school. You click on the third drop box, type in M, scroll until you find Michigan, hit enter. That is all the draft prospects from Michigan and Michigan State. You can also go to Michigan State, and you'll see just Michigan State players. But for some reason, they threw Michigan State players in with the Michigan guys. Don't know why. Probably because it's still also Michigan. All right. Quarterbacks coming from this underclassmen. Puppy wants in. Hang on. Oh, come on. Bring it with you. Oh, boy. Underclassmen. Quarterbacks. Jared Goff, Paxton Lynch, Christian Hackenberg, Cardale Jones. Jared Goff, I think, is the... Oh, great. Hang on a second. If I can find my little thingamabob. Jared Goff, I think, is the most polished quarterback. Hi. Sorry, the dog poked me. Coming out of the draft. You were just outside. No. I think he's the most polished and ready to go quarterback in the draft. Paxton Lynch from Memphis is... Really? All right, fine. Goofy dog. I'm going to go back outside. Okay, fine. Paxton Lynch is from Memphis. He's also a very good prospect. I'd pick him. I'd take him. He's I'd pick the guy. Strong quarterback, really tall. I think that'll come in handy. Christian Hackenberg is from Penn State, and I believe he's going to go late first round, early second round to the Texans. Midway through the second round. I guess when they got there, they pick. Cardale Jones from Ohio State. A lot of football fans, I don't have to tell you who that is, but I will. He's got a really good arm. Another real big 6'5", 250, big guy. Probably, I'd take him in the third, fourth round. Running backs, Ohio State, underclassman, Ezekiel Elliott, most polished running back in the draft. Alex Collins out of Arkansas, Jordan Howard out of Indiana, Paul Perkins from UCLA, C.J. Prosise from the University of Notre Dame. I am unhappy with that he's decided to go to the draft, but fine. You spend a year running back, and evidently you think you can take on the world. Whatever you want, dude. Kelvin Taylor from Florida, Wendell Smallwood from West Virginia, Dwayne Washington from Washington, Zach Brooks from Clemson. Of the fullbacks, there's only one. There's Glenn Gronkowski, and I don't believe he's related to Gronk. Really? Okay, hang on real quick. There are two things. One, puppy's on high. Two, I gotta get my charger. My computer's that. No, look out. Look out. Let's see. Really, Hank? Ta-da! Good. I wasn't sure if the outlet was going to work. We're in the middle of demoing the house, so. Okay, back to what I was doing. Fullback Glenn Gronkowski. He's going in. He's 6'2" from Kansas State. I don't think he's related to Gronk. Although he's going to use that name to get drafted. From the receivers, let me scroll on down. Wide receivers, Laquan Treadwell, Ole Miss, 6'2". Corey Coleman, Baylor, 5'10". Michael Thomas, Ohio State, 6'3". Hank, not letting you back outside. You were just out there. Michael Thomas, Ohio State, 6'3". Will Fuller, 6 foot, Notre Dame. Tyler Boyd, 6'2", Pittsburgh. Farrah Cooper, 5'11", South Carolina. Kenny Lawler, 6'2", Cal. Darunia Wilson, Mississippi State, 6'4". Thomas Duarte. Hank, it's enough of that. Demarcus Robinson, Florida, 6'1". Jalen Marshall, 5'10", out of Ohio State. Braylon Addison, 5'10", out of Oregon. Roger Lewis, 6 foot, out of Bowling Green. Daniel Braverman, out of West Michigan. Caleb Jones, Arizona, he's 6'3". And DeMarcus Ayers, out of Houston, he's 5'10". For tight ends, it's Hunter Henry, 6'5", Arkansas. Austin Hooper, 6'3", Stanford. And David Greenidge, North Carolina State, he's 6'5". Offensive linemen that are underclassmen. Laramie Tunsil, Ronnie Stanley, that's not true, he's a senior. Jack Conklin, Jermaine Ifedi, Sean Coleman, Jared Hawkins, and Caleb Brenoke. It's either Brenoke or Brunnock. Interior offensive linemen. I'm sorry, that was offensive tackles. Interior offensive lineman. Denver Kirkland out of Arkansas. Isaac Siomola, Oregon State. Alex Redmond, UCLA. Defensive ends. Shaq Lawson, Clemson, 6'3". Joey Bosa, Ohio State, 6'5". Emmanuel Ogba, Oklahoma State, 6'3". Noah Spence, Eastern Kentucky, 6'3". Kevin Dodd, Clemson, 6'4". Ron Thompson, Syracuse, 6'3". And Alex McAllister, Florida, 6'5". A defensive tackle underclassman. Andrew Billings, 6'2". Robert Kemdichi, 6'3", Ole Miss. Kenny Clark, 6'2", UCLA. Austin Johnson, Penn State. Chris Jones, Mississippi State. Malik Collins, Nebraska. Willie Henry from Michigan. Hassan Ridgeway from Texas. Darius Latham from Indiana. Vincent Valentine from Nebraska. And Quentin Jefferson from Maryland. Linebackers, Miles Jack, Jalen Smith, Darren Lee, Leonard Floyd, Sua Craven, Scooby Wright, Dominic Alexander, Yannick Gakwe, I think that's how you pronounce his name, Camille Corot, Banique Brown, Stephen Weatherly, Travis Blanks, and Steve Longa. Corners, Jalen Ramsey, Mackenzie Alexander, Vernon Hargraves, Eli Apple, Kendall Fuller, Artie Byrne, Givari Russell, Zach Sanchez, Xavier Howard, Daryl Worley, Rashad Robinson, and Cleveland Wallace III. Safeties, Von Miller, Jerron Kirsch, Keanu Neal, Tyvis Powell, and TJ Green. Specialists, Robert Iguayu and Eric Anderson. Oh, thank God. They've actually got a returning to school list. Returning to school, running back Wayne Gallman from Clemson. Running back Corey Clements from Wisconsin. Running back Eli McGuire from UNLV. UL Lafayette. Wide receiver Michael Williams from Clemson. Josh Reynolds, Texas A&M. Cooper Kupp from Eastern Washington. Ricky Seals-Jones from Texas A&M. I'm just going to go through some of the big names. Stacy Coley from Miami. Jake Butt from Michigan. Engram from Ole Miss. Pat Eflin is returning to school from Ohio State. Ethan Poshik from LSU. Devontae Fields from Louisville is going back. Hank, that's enough. Al-Quadin Muhammad from Miami is going back. You don't have to go out. I let you out 2 seconds ago. Chris Wormley from Michigan. It's enough. You don't have to go out. I just let you out, and you went through a bone around and came back in. Sky Moore, linebacker from South Carolina. Desmond King from Iowa. Jordan Lewis from Michigan. Will Likely from Maryland. And Josh Harvey Clements. Oh, that's a shame. From Louisville. I was really hopeful he'd go. That is all the prospects that are coming in underclassmen and staying in school. Now, time for me to destroy people. Their dreams, that is. I pulled up another mock draft that I'm going to go through. Actually, this one looks pretty accurate. This is from, what's the name of the... This is post-Pro Bowl projections from Bleacher Report. Oh, actually, this is probably pretty accurate. These guys do what I do. They actually go through and look at what you need. So the first pick, Tennessee, they got them getting Laramie Tunsil. Offensive tackle. I don't know much about Laramie Tunsil, but everyone's got him. A lot of people have him going first round. Okay. Cleveland getting Joey Bosa. They do need defensive line. So I don't know if Joey will go second. He's going to go second or first. I think those two right there, Tunsil and Bosa, are interchangeable. Chargers getting DeForest Buckner. Okay. I could see that. Makes sense. Dallas getting Miles Jack. They do need a linebacker. Jacksonville getting Jalen Ramsey, defensive back. They could use that. Baltimore getting Stanley. Okay. Niners getting Carson Wentz. I don't know about that. I have not seen any tape on Carson Wentz. I know I talk a lot of crap about him because he's from North Dakota State. But you got to look at it this way. I actually have not watched any tape on him. There isn't much around. So, maybe I'll have to try and look that up. I don't know about him. But if he is to go as high as they claim, 7th would not be bad. Because Niners do need a quarterback. I don't like the ones where they're like, there's going to be 5 quarterbacks taken in the first round. Yeah, you say NFL and ESPN, you say that every year. And normally there's like 1, 2 at the most. Sometimes there's 3. Why do I say sometimes? 2015 NFL draft. Or 2014 NFL draft. There were 3 quarterbacks taken in the first round. Miami getting Noah Spence. I totally see that. They need help. The Bucks getting Vernon Hargraves. Okay. Giants getting Jalen Smith. Okay. Chicago getting Reggie Ragland. Saints getting Mackenzie Alexander. The Eagles getting Jared Goff. I don't know if they'll get Jared Goff. But they do need a quarterback. I could see them getting, who did I just say? Memphis quarterback. I gotta get some alpha brain. We'll think this through a little more. I can't think of his name right now. But the kid from Memphis. But Jared Goff, I think, is the most polished quarterback out of the draft. Raiders getting Taylor Decker. Okay. Los Angeles Rams. It just rolls off the tongue. So much better than St. Louis. It's so good to hear that again. Corey Coleman from Baylor. Okay. I don't think you go with Coleman as your first receiver. I would go somewhere else. A certain underclassman who wore blue, color of the blue variety, with a gold helmet, I believe. I'm going to say Will Fuller. Everyone's going to be pissed at me because, of course, you're saying Will Fuller. He's from Notre Dame. I think he's the best receiver, underclassmen-wise, in the draft. Nothing against Michael Thomas. I think Michael Thomas is the close second. But I think Will Fuller would be a smarter pick for the Rams. He could be your franchise guy. Nothing against Corey Coleman. I think Corey Coleman's a good receiver. But if you're going to go for somebody, I would personally go 1 through 3 is tied. And that's Fuller, Coleman, Fuller, if I can speak English, Laquan Treadwell, and Michael Thomas. Those are the top 3, and they're all tied for first place. Detroit getting A'Shawn Robinson, defensive tackle. Okay. I would say you go offensive line for Detroit, but we do need a tackle. So A'Shawn Robinson wouldn't be a bad pick. They've got the Falcons going with Shaq Lawson, Colts going with Conklin, Bills going with Dodd. Okay. The Jets getting Ezekiel Elliott. Ooh, that's scary. I like it. Redskins getting Sheldon Rankin from Louisville. Texans getting Billings. Vikings getting Treadwell. Cincinnati Bengals getting Butler. Steelers getting Apple. That's a great pick. Eli Apple, great pick. Seattle getting Kemdichi, the linebacker. Defensive lineman. I thought linebacker when I first read that. Packers getting Darren Lee. Ooh. That's a good pick. The Chiefs getting Braxton Miller, receiver. Okay. The Cardinals getting Leonard Floyd. And the Panthers getting Emmanuel Ogba, defensive end. Okay. I like it. I agree with a lot of these picks, actually. There's a couple I think I would monkey with a little bit. Maybe look at who's available. But without sitting at the draft and looking at a draft board and being actually there with like the 5th pick and going, well, who do I want? And going, well, oh crap, nobody picked this kid. And go, well, shit, that's where I'm going to go. Prime example, last year. Who was it? Defensive end from Nebraska. He sat there. Well, if I'm sitting at 25 and I need a defensive lineman, my head would go to, maybe I should take the guy who was originally supposed to go like 4th. Well, he got caught with drugs and went down. Yeah, that's something we can work on, though. You know, that was one of those things that upset me. Same thing with Dale Collins. He's a good kid. Should have been drafted. Didn't. Ended up going to a really shitty team. The Cowgirls. Anyway, that's the mock draft that I wanted to go through. I agree with 100% with a lot of these picks. Okay, so last weekend, Anthony Rumble Johnson knocked out Ryan Bader, just like I said as soon as they announced the fight. Sage Northcutt lost. And this coming weekend, this Saturday, which is originally when I was supposed to move in my apartment, this was supposed to be pay-per-view UFC 196, I believe. It is not. It is now a fight night card because Kane and Verdum both dropped out. Now the main event is Johnny Really Fat Fuck Hendricks against Stephen Thompson because I'm going to duck Tyron Woodley. Should be a good fight. I've got Thompson beating Hendricks by weight. I don't mean weight, W-A-I-T. I mean weight, as in he's going to show up overweight and have to drop out. Roy Nelson against Jared Roseholt. Look, I like Big Country, but he needs to retire. Ovin St. Preux against Rafael Cavalcante. That should be an amazing fight. Joseph Benavidez against Zach Makovsky. That should be a really good fight. Josh Berkman against KJ Noons. That should be a good fight. Derek Lewis against Damian Grabowski. I got Derek Lewis. Mike Pyle against Sean Spence. Depends on what Mike Pyle shows up. Do we get head kick Mike Pyle, or do we get I'm going to stand here and let you punch me in the face, Mike Pyle? So that I'm interested in. Misha Sukumagan. Sukanovo, something like that. Alex Nicholson. I don't know who either of you are. And that's a guy, by the way. Alex White against Artem Labov. Ray Borg returns against Justin Scroggins. That should be a good fight. The return of Noad Lahat. Very happy to see Noad Lahat back for two reasons. One, I really didn't want him to get killed. Two, he's back. To explain, Noad Lahat went back to Israel and fought in the Israeli military. And now he's back. So thank God. He fights Diego Rivas. Mickey Gall, who's 1-0 against Mike Jackson, who's 0-0-0. How the fuck do you find these people? That is this weekend. That's this Saturday. And then, of course, Sunday's the Super Bowl. Okay. So, upcoming cards. That was Hendricks Thompson. That's this weekend. The 21st is Donald Cowboy Cerrone against Tim Dirtybird Means. On this card, this is actually a pretty good card. Derek Brunson against Rohan Carneiro. Cody Garbrandt against John Lineker. Brandon Thatch against Siar Bahrazada. Dennis Bermudez against Tatsuya Kawajiri. Joe Riggs against Chris Carmozzi. Alawalu Bangbos, against Daniel Serafian. Sorry, I always read that and go Serafian and then read it again. Jonathan Webb against Nathan Coy. Marianne Renew against Ashley Evans Smith. For those of you who don't know who Ashley Evans Smith is, I'm pretty sure that's our lovely person who got punched in the ear and had it explode. Trevor Smith against Leonard Gumarez. James Crouch against Shane Campbell. Sarah Morris, Lauren Murphy, Anthony Hamilton, Shamal I always fuck this guy's name up. Abdurkamov. Sean Strickland against Alex Garcia. And let's go back. Another upcoming card, which is the 27th. Very excited, exclusively on Fight Pass. Anderson the Spider Silva returns from a 1-year suspension against Michael the Dumb Cunt Bisping. Hopefully he knocks him out and he'll shut the fuck up. Also on this card, Timu Pashklin against Lajek Sarwiski. Nick Svensson against David Teemer. Arnold Allen against Yorkson Meza. Davey Grant against Marion Vera. Brad Pickett. Sorry, I almost fucked that name up. Against Francisco Rivera. Makwan Amakani against Mike Wilkinson. Scott Ashgram against Chris Dempsey. Daniel Omalechik against Jarhesh Danho. Tom Breeze against Kiata Nakamura. Rustam Habilov against Storm and Norman Park. And Gegard Musasi against Thalites. That should be a good fight. Musasi? Litus? I think maybe Litus. I always fuck up his name. His first name is spelled Thales. Thalis? His last name is Leites, and I've seen Lights, and Lightus. How that's been pronounced. Depends on who you are. I don't know. But Gegard's a fucking killer. Then on March 5th, I'm going to go over this again, don't worry, is the most stacked card in forever. It is, so far, Justin Salas, Jason Sago, Vitor Miranda, Marcel Gumares, Jim Miller, Diego Sanchez. That's going to be fucking amazing. Darren Elkins, Chaz Skelly, Corey Anderson, Filthy Tom Lawler, Erika Silva against Nordin Talib, Amanda the Lioness Nunes against Valentina Shevchenko. Sorry if I can pronounce your name. Ooh, they added a fight. Ila Latife against John Vellante. That'll be really good. Co-main event. Holly fucking Holm against Misha fucking Tate. The main event is going to be Red Panty Night at the MGM Grand because it's Rafael Dos Anjos against Conor McGregor. About to become the new lightweight champion. He's going to knock him out. I'm dead serious. Yes, they got very animated for that because fuck the world. The fight after that is on March 20th, so I got to wait for a while after that. That's okay. I'm okay if I got to wait for that a little bit. I also got to get rid of the chub in my pants at the moment for that card. Now here's the fun part for you people. You got to figure out if I'm being serious about that or not. How you know? You don't know what I'm into. I'm kidding. I don't. Chad Laprise against Alan Park Silva Alves. That's the first fight on this particular card. Richard Walsh. Jake Matthews against Johnny Case. Daniel Kelly against Antonio Carlos Jr. Brandon O'Reilly against Alan Jobin. James Tahuna against Steve Bose. No, I made that mistake on purpose. Sio Hiham against Beck Rawlings. Ross Pearson, Abel Trujillo. Ooh. That's sexy. That'll be a good fight. Hector Lombard, Neil Magny, and Frank Mir. The main event, Frank Mir against Mark Hunt. I smell a knockout. Mark Hunt drops him in 2 rounds. That's the 20th. April 10th has not been announced. However, May 14th, I want to make this very clear. The 14th of May, there is a fight. The UFC Fight Night is in Brazil. It's against 2 Brazilians. It was originally supposed to be a Brazilian and a Cuban. However, somebody can't stay off the roids. Because don't forget Jesus was on roids. So on May 14th, we're going to get Jacare Souza against Vitor Belfort. Oh my God. I'm really excited for that too. That's going to be fucking amazing. Let me see. Did they add anybody else to the card? Ooh. They did. Damn. So on that card, May 14th, 2016, somewhere in Brazil. Probably going to be Rio de Janeiro. Ronaldo Souza, Jacare, against Vitor Belfort. The co-main event right now is Damian Maia and Matt Brown. Ooh. Leonardo Santos, Evan Dunham. That's a sexy card. With just those 2 fights. Just Jacare and Damian. That's a sexy card. With just those 2 fights on it. Alright, let me see. Did they announce this yet? They're going to Croatia. Yeah, they did. It's Gabe Gonzaga, Ruslan Magmedov, Jan Blamincic or something like that. I don't know. Igor Pakovic, Nico Dalby against some guy I've never heard of. Francis. Oh, they're going to have that other guy. Francis Ngannou against Bohan Mihajicovic? Something like that. Then there's going to be one in Tampa, which is... Ooh, that's that fight. Okay, UFC on Fox 19 to be assigned. It's April 16th. It's Tony Ferguson against Habib Nurmagomedov. Ooh. Co-main, Rashad and Mauricio. Oh my God, this card. Oh my God. This card. Oh my God. Oh my God. I thought I had a chub for the other card. This one replaces it. Good God. I changed my mind. The Conor McGregor card is not the most stat card. This one is. El Kukui against the Eagle. Suga against Shogun. The Dragon Machida against Dan Henderson. Michael Chiesa, Benel Dirush. Bitch Korea I do that on purpose. Besh Koya against Rocky Pennington. Oh my God. And then Cub Swanson against Hakron Diaz. Damn it, that's a good card. Holy shit. Please, Injury Bug, stay away from that card. I will kill myself if they fuck with it. That card is perfect. And then there's supposed to be one in New York. Let me see, did they announce anything for that yet? No, because they're still dealing with New York. And then supposedly, let's see if they even have that announced yet. They don't. Supposedly, at UFC 200, which is in July 9th, that's going to be, supposedly, Johnny Bones Jones against Cormier 2. That's what I heard. Let me see. Do they even have anything on that? I don't think they do. Supposedly, that's what that's going to be. Dana White says Ronda Rousey unlikely for UFC. Yeah, we knew that already. For UFC 200 return. That's because she's too busy shooting movies. Fuck her. No one cares. And then July 8th is the finale, which is Joanna and Claude Gadelha. Okay. Wow. I am really pumped for upcoming cards. Holy shit. That's the most stacked card I've ever seen. And I started watching at UFC. Let me scroll down and find it. The reason you keep seeing my fingers is because I'm scrolling that hard. Let me see. The first fight I ever saw was UFC 94, I think. Because I know I saw Sanchez Stevens. I saw Jackson against Jardine. I saw Condit Campman. I don't know if I saw UFC 97. I missed a couple because I wasn't really into it yet. I know I watched Evans Machida. Because not long after that was Lesnar Mir 2. Yeah, I did not watch that. But I watched Franklin Belfort and Diaz Gallard. Machida Shogun. Don't think I saw that. I was one of those people who went, I don't know about it yet. Before it was big, and then all of a sudden I went, holy shit, and started watching the shit out of it. Florian Gomi. Machida Shogun 2. Rampage Evans. Jones Matushenko. Silva Sonnen. Edgar Penn 2. I think I have a poster for that. Edgar Penn 2. Marquardt Palhares. Rampage Machida. St. Pierre Kashik. Silva Belfort. I'm trying to find the first fight I ever watched. Hang on. I'm pretty sure. I know for a fact I watched Chuck Congo against Barry. I know for a fact I watched that fight. But the first fight I ever watched was GSP. It was GSP against Penn. I just got to figure out which one it was. Pretty sure it was GSP Penn 2, which would be Hughes Gracie. I didn't watch any Gracie fights. Hughes Penn 2. Sorry. Sanchez Riggs, Liddell Ortiz. Let me see. UFC 75, champion versus champion. Who was that? Oh, that was Quentin and Dan. Okay, I did not see that fight. I'm trying to find the first fight I ever watched. Hang on. Nemesis, I don't think I was around for. Sarah St. Pierre. Let me look. Hang on. St. Pierre. So I'm going to do, I'm going to pull up. Yeah, that's when George beat Matt Sarah. On a TriStar. Here we go. Nope. Yeah, it was UFC 94. I was just checking. I'm like, I know he fought him twice. Let me look. The first time was UFC 58, and that was a split decision. That was back when they were 3 rounds. I didn't see that one. Because the fight I watched, he got fucking demolished. Yeah, so the first fight I ever watched was UFC 94. By the way, we're at 196. That was in 2009. Holy shit, I've been watching for a really long time. I just realized that, like 2016, 2009. Oh, God, that's a really long time. I've been watching this sport for a long time. It's still just as exciting as it always is. Yeah, so if you're a guy and you, for some reason, scan past my podcast, or you're a woman, I don't give a fuck what gender you are. I don't believe in the whole gender neutrality thing, but I do believe that if whatever the fuck gender you are, do whatever the fuck you want. Totally watch the UFC. Actually, mixed martial arts in general. But the UFC is an amazing company. It's an amazing thing to watch. Yeah. Watch it with your money. Sorry. I can't do GSP right now because my nose is so stuffed full of shit. So every time I try to do his voice, it's going to come out a little bit different. Because when I'm not so stuffed up, I can do his voice a lot better. My English is better than yours. Yeah, see, I can't do it as well because my nose is so stuffed full of shit. He's Canadian. That's how I can do that. He's Canadian. To those who've seen In Bruges, you know what I just said. He's Canadian. Canadian. Shit. You heat the Canadian. I heat the Canadian. Don't know what you're talking about. That's from In Bruges. I don't know the rights to that either. Alright, that's this podcast. Thanks for watching. We're over an hour. Woo! I always try to make it at least an hour. I try. 1 hour, 2 minutes. Yes. This episode of the USA Video Podcast is always brought to you by the JRE, the Joe Rogan Experience. You can listen to his comedy on Spotify, Mr. Joe Rogan. You can listen to his podcast on YouTube and iTunes, the JRE, Joe Rogan Experience. I got to update mine. I'm going to listen to him probably. Actually, right after this, I'm going to try and watch the Senior Bowl. He's a hilarious, hilarious man. He's got a great podcast with great guests. Former host of Fear Factor. Current color commentator for the UFC. Really hope that doesn't end ever, because it's really exciting with him. Actually, I've heard that if he leaves, they're going to replace him with Brian Stan, which I don't like because it's Joe, and Joe's really part of it. But if they replaced it with Brian Stan, it wouldn't be as big of a downfall as if you got rid of him and then replaced him with like Ariel Helwani. Or it's not Helwani. Helwani I like. It's the other guy. I can't stand his voice. His voice is way too high pitched. It just drives you nuts. They replaced him with Brian Stan. Helwani is the guy I like. I'm trying to think of his name now. Anyway, whatever. They're going to possibly replace him with Brian Stan, which I'd be okay with. I like Joe too much, so it's one of those where I'd be disappointed. Also, brought to you by Science. The only energy drink I drink, 0 calories, 0 sugar, no crash, no jitters. The original great tasting 0 calorie energy drink. Real energy for real people. The unique formula that gives you the hashtag Power2. I'm not sponsored by either of these companies. However, I am a huge fan. If they wish to sponsor me, that would be freaking fantastic. We are sponsored, however, by Fox. Not given here, not given there, not given anywhere. No fucks given. Thanks for watching. You guys have yourselves a lovely day, afternoon, night, whenever the fuck you watch this. Peace.